Ever since the announcement of the Keith Emerson replica of Moog Modular last year, there have been rumours abounding about new Moog Modular systems. Would they be Eurorack? Would they be 5U? Would they be based on the Keith Emerson modules? Would they exist at all? Well, it's 9 months later and you find us just before NAMM in Los Angeles, and we can actually announce what Moog have been doing with their modular systems, which will be formally announced on the first day of NAMM at the show. This is a gentleman who's been charged with prototyping, designing, building the systems. This is Gene Stopp, who was one of the prime movers in the Emerson Moog Modular. And so, Gene, can you tell us, how did these three systems come about, and what are they exactly?
Well, this system over here behind you is a System 35, synthesizer 35, with a sequencer complement B on top of it. This is a System 55, and this is a Model 15. These are brand new machines built in 2015.
But these are replicas of Moog systems from the 1970s.
They are. They're actually identical replicas because we've been able to replicate every aspect from the front panel graphics to the circuit board designs. The same components are used. Most of the components are new, but they're the same components. So essentially, it's indistinguishable from the machines that were created in the 70s.
So that's what people will want to know. This is the mighty Moog System 55, as it was frequently described. And so if somebody were to purchase one of these in 2015, you're confident that it would sound exactly the same as the same system that was purchased, let's say, in 1978?
I think confident's the wrong word. Absolutely positive.
That they would sound the same?
Absolutely.
Okay, so these three systems are going to be going on sale later this year. Do you know when they'll be available?
As soon as we can build them.
Okay, so these are all being built in Moog's factory in Asheville in North Carolina.
All of the modules are built in Asheville, North Carolina. So all of the sound producing equipment, all of the panels that you see, and the entire System 15 is being built in Asheville. The larger console systems are being going through system integration, calibration, and testing at my R&D shop here.
So anybody who buys a 35 or a 55 with or without the expansion cabinets, they're going to be hand calibrated by you?
Yes.
To sound as they should?
We're staffing up, so it may not be me personally, but will certainly be overseen by me and probably be done by me in the next few months.
So given that people would be very excited about being able to buy original but new Moog systems, what was the rationale for sticking with these very large modular sizes rather than going over to the smaller, perhaps Eurorack format that's become so popular in recent years?
That's a pretty easy question to answer because this was something that we were sure we could do, and if we knew that we could execute it and make it a smooth process, in other words, come to speed on the procedures and things like that needed to assemble this. Once we have that under our belt, we could go in any direction from there. The legacy systems, the pre-70 systems, the mid-60s, late 60s systems, we certainly have the technology to be able to replicate those as well. But we'll see how that goes.
We'll see. Well, this is what we've got.
Right.
So the Emerson Moog Modular, when it was finally made available, just a handful of them are in preparation for their future owners. The final price quoted for that was $150,000 on the Moog website.
Right.
I imagine that these systems are considerably more affordable.
Yes. The System 55 price is going to be about $35,000, I believe. The System 35, $22,000. The sequencer complement B, $8,500, and the System 15 around $10,000. And the keyboards we're going to sell separately for something in the $800 range.
So in an era where people are used to small modular synths, which you can start building up a perfectly usable system with a couple of oscillators, filters, envelope generators, and so forth for well under $1,000, do you feel that there is a significant market for vintage Moogs at those kind of prices?
Yeah, actually I do. Because, to be honest, the entire modular synthesizer rage that's going on these days is based around a foundation, a legacy, which was the history of this machine, which has gone out of production 30 years ago. And to reintroduce this would fill this vacuum that has been existing for so long and actually served as the foundation for the current interest. So,
okay, well, I know why I think these are different from other synthesizers that are available, but why do you think they're different?
Probably 5 or 6 different dimensions of difference. Sonic differences, ergonomic differences, paradigm differences, history differences, emotional differences, which in an artistic field is an important aspect. And all of these different aspects are build on each other.
So there you have it. 33 years, as I understand it, after the last Moog Modular left the factory, they exist again. Not modern clones, not cut-down versions, but the real Moog Modular synthesizers. I've been playing these for a short while, and I have to say that they really are authentic. So this is one of the most iconic synthesizers that there's ever been. It's the Moog System 55, which was used by a number of pretty significant artists in the 1970s. Not just because of the sound, although obviously that's wonderful, but because it's just a beautiful machine to use. It has 2 groups of 3 primary oscillators and a 7th oscillator. It has the wonderful early 70s Moog filters and a sensible complement of envelope generators, VCAs, the sequencer that you can see flashing away here, and all sorts of other subsidiary modules that make it incredibly flexible. But the most important thing about something like the System 55 is the sound, which is really identifiable as Moog. That's not to say that other manufacturers don't have distinctive sounds which are also of very high quality and very desirable, but these systems, they just scream at you and say, I am a big Moog modular synthesizer. And some of the sounds that they create, you can just recognize immediately. This is one that I patched up in a minute or two when we cleared the studio here of people, just to demonstrate that this is a genuine Moog modular synthesizer. And if I play a single note, the sound is completely recognizable. That's just a 2 oscillator sound running through a single filter with a little bit of modulation. Obviously you can create additional complexity, you can make it thicker, you can make it fatter, but it's the sound of a genuine Moog modular synthesizer.